I started Restoring the Village off of the strength of one, being a widow, losing a husband, and just wanting to make a difference. We wanted to do a holistic approach, and so Restoring the Village was started, and it was a pop-up that God just put a vision in my heart and just said do it. And so my biggest thing is being obedient and doing it, even if it doesn't make sense to me. We have a great team, about 7 core members, and we have over 200 community partnerships, and those partnerships are churches, they're agencies, they're community association, nonprofits, they're everyone. They're leaders, community leaders without even a community association. It's just they're leaders. And so I love talking to people. I love meeting new people. And that's just how it goes. It's like a cluster. You just keep on building and building and building. Then I have different community partnerships that they help with just jobs. Like I know my lane. My lane is connecting. And so we have other people that help with jobs, and we have other people that help with missing children. You know, we have people that has their own niche, and we just want them to feel a part. So I just connect them. And shout out to Diamond K. He's very influential in the community, offering platforms. I started Restoring the RTV project radio show as just a way of getting information out to the community. It can be so many things that can go on, but what we want to do is only solely work and focus on the positive. And so that's all that Restoring the Village is doing. Everything on there is positive, and there's no negativity. We've lost that communication. And so I love when people actually come on and actually can talk to people and let them know what they're doing and why they should support them, you know, and how they can be supported. So I just think that loving on one another is the best thing that we could do right now. I would love to see, you know, more people getting involved in their communities. And again, that's, you know, kind of off, but getting more involved in the community is the best thing that we can do. I'm totally not against police officers. Of course, we know there's some good and bad with anything and anybody. I want to really, truly make a difference. I'm running in the same district that my husband was murdered in. And that right there shows strength. It shows that we can recover from anything. And it's not to say recover, but we can conquer anything. And you can make a difference even in your brokenness.
Talk about the wreck situation for sure.
Hello everyone, welcome to the RTV radio show. Stands for, again, Restoring the Village, here each and every Tuesday, talking about the hot topics.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to do today. We don't have a guest.
Okay, no guest.
We specifically wanted us to...
Here last week. I didn't even notice you wasn't here.
You did notice it.
Yeah, you noticed it.
I definitely noticed
We
it.
have so... We have so much to talk about, and of course we have that hour. If I can, I want to encourage you all to just please share. Also tune in and, you know, engage with us in conversation. You can actually call in if you want. It is 404-436-1277. It most definitely will be on the screen, and also we'll be putting it in the video. So again, yes, you were missed. And we have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do. Let's get started.
I didn't want to bring in like a guest in. It's like we have so much to talk about. It's just RTV today, so.
Yeah, Diamond K. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, brother Larry?
So what we going to start on first?
Yes. Well, let's just talk about today in general.
Yeah.
Well, not just yesterday, today.
Well, from yesterday into today.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
With Baltimore. I know we didn't want to focus on the negativity, but let's not be blinded that there are so many things going on. Also, I wanted to mention that as we get into it, but I also want to mention that this particular week is Suicide Prevention Week, and it runs from the 8th through the 14th.
It makes you to wonder.
And we need to talk about it.
Yeah, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? It's a suicide.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And the little his hanging and yeah, come on.
That's a lot.
So it is. So I was really busy at work today, and
I got you,
when I
Miss
finally got on, see, there you go,
There
in his
you
own
go.
little audience.
Right.
But when I finally got on, I saw a lot of people talking about Carver students, and I was like, what happened?
Yeah, I saw that too, but
So-
really didn't get
Right.
into like in depth like what happened.
Right. So we do know that there was a man, black man, that was found hanging. And it's so crazy because the social media is a mess. We heard from a rum to a tree to
the fence.
It was a tree.
I heard it was
But
the fence. I heard it was the fence. I heard it was the fence.
And it was confirmed. They are ruling it as a suicide.
See, and
And,
suicide prevention, you know what I mean, in front of a
God.
school.
Just-
Black
just
man,
conspiracy.
come on.
Did they identify?
Come
him?
on.
I'm not sure. So I haven't really followed all the way through.
definitely
but
wanna do
I
some
know that they are
research on
ruling
that.
that out. And I wanted to emphasize because on top of that, we've had other incidents in our community where there have been, suicides that have occurred.
It's happening more frequently.
It's happening more frequent. We need to talk about, what are some things that we can do. So this is a great topic to even try to focus on as well. It's hard to avoid this when you see and when you hear so much going on in your community. I mean, just a simple. I made sure I stayed off of my phone, but then of course you want to check certain things and make sure
Right.
no one's missing, and that's
Right.
all I had. So I've seen students in distress. I've seen parents in distress, and so in our community as a whole.
Exactly.
And so what are some things that we can do? We can talk about that today, but that is definitely a sight that was hard on anyone.
I mean, absolutely.
And there's a picture floating around. So
Are you
let's please
serious?
make sure that we are mindful not to.
That's why I try to stay off of social media.
Yes.
God,
I
Yes.
mean,
that's crazy. Well, me working in the mental health field, I see signs of suicide all the time with
And
my
can
clients.
we talk about some signs?
how old was the person? Do they know?
I'm not sure. It
Okay,
hasn't been, it
released,
hasn't been
okay.
identified.
I mean, if you just notice a person not acting their norm, like they just do this complete 360, they're this bubbly person, but now they're withdrawn, they depressed, they don't want to socialize. That should be red flags to really start talking to them and trying to figure out what's going on. Normally what I see is where I work at, is a lot of people that's used to working and making money, and then if they up and lose their job, that's one main reason that would cause someone to be like,
They're
okay,
living it, yeah.
I don't want to live no more.
Yes.
So definitely that
Same thing. I'm just trying to make sure I don't get anyone to ask any questions.
but I think I think most people nowadays, they don't want to interfere or be nosy, and that
I mean, it's hard out here. People is living hard out here. You know what I'm saying? To keep your sanity in this crazy world we live in, it's crazy. But you said it's suicide. What this week? Suicide
prevention.
Come on. You know what I'm saying? They ruled it a suicide. Like I said, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying.
I also want to emphasize that, again, no
The
name
views
putting
expressed
out,
on
but
here.
there was also a police officer that committed suicide as well. We just want to make
In
sure that
Baltimore?
so we just want to make sure that,
They stressed out too.
yes,
Yeah,
and that was my point.
They are stressed out.
Our community in general is affected.
Right.
There's so many things going on, so many things you're seeing. As you stated, it could be, losing a job, not having the things you can
Losing
do,
a loved one.
losing a loved one. Let me
Right.
just stop there. And I know we try not to talk about crime all the time, but we cannot get away that it's been affected. So
Right.
the Baltimore Sun had where they were talking about, and they actually interviewed a good friend of mine, but they were talking about how, even with this one person and how many people it has affected out of that one.
Right.
Versus now we have 242 reported, and I always say reported homicides, and you can just double, triple, whatever, because that someone's mother is grieving, or brother, or sisters,
Absolutely.
cousins, friends. People are being affected by just that one death.
Yeah.
There's a young man. I don't put information out, but there's a young man that I know of, and a family has reached out. A lot of family reach out to me. You may not necessarily, as someone asked of this question, and I want to answer it. But I don't necessarily have to go to every visual, and I don't necessarily have to show what I'm doing. And the reason and I'm not saying with everything as far as public service, but there are some things that I just feel as though it should be
absolutely.
Someone's grieving, and I'm not there to just be there just to get a vote or something.
Right.
So there's certain things that you won't see me doing, but I have always, from doing obituaries to little to no money to doing vigils, to being in an incident where there's a fight or other things getting ready to break out. You're putting yourself in that harm as well. So there's so many, but in the same token, most of them, I'm gonna say most, I don't use that word, but a lot of these killings, shootings, they're stemmed from someone hurting and now retaliation. Right. Someone's hurt, someone's pain. And I say that because there's one in particular, and I know this can be so many other stories, there's so many other families that can relate, but there's one in particular who just a couple months ago lost his brother. Well, he died, but 2 months ago the family buried his brother, and they buried his father. So that's a father and 2 sons that someone has had to bury.
And this family didn't even get a chance to recruit. And
absolutely.
That's, again,
there's hurt,
ramble back to mental health and grieving.
There's hurt, there's pain, there's mental health that we need to address. Even when we look at people that are, doing drugs, and we look at them like, oh, they high, they out.
They're doing it for a reason.
You don't know what nobody going through. That's what I'm saying.
You don't know their story.
Like, it was a lady on the bottom of 83. I wasn't there, but the story was shared with me. Like, something, apparently the lady was driving crazy on the phone or whatever, and so another lady rolled up to her like, yo, why are you driving like that? What did you on the phone? You could have injured me and my kids. Right. And so I guess they had words, and the lady threw the water bottle and it went in her car. So while the lady who was driving crazy rams her car into the back of the lady car, boom, you know what I mean, and then pulls in front of her. I wasn't there to see the whole, situation, but you don't know what people are dealing with, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be very mindful how you moving in the world, because, there's a lot of things going on.
You don't know what's people are out there. I wouldn't say someone. There are so many people that are out there and just inches, moments, seconds away from snapping.
And just notice, it ain't just people that's in the streets. It's people that you work with.
It's
you know what I'm saying? Right. Straight up.
It's true. Anyone.
Straight up.
I love the fact that we were talking about signs and stuff. I always tell people, not to say I'm a snap on you, but I'm very agitated on certain times, and so September is my hardest month. It's my hardest month because I lost my husband this month. It's my hardest month because there's an event that I do every year to acknowledge and to help and to link up with families. I may be okay one moment, and who knows, this particular year just might be like a wow for me. Or I may be fine, but it's just still hurt that I can't help someone else.
But you can acknowledge that, okay, September
now.
is a hard month.
But what we're talking about is, and even if I can acknowledge it, there are still some cases where it's just inches away from being snapped. Right? And you just don't know. So you're dealing with somebody that's already dealing with their grief. And like you said, I don't know if the person was like cut off, as you stated, or something happened, right? But that person probably had a bad day.
She probably was like irritated. You don't know.
Having a bad day, going through something. Maybe she lost someone.
Exactly.
Maybe she's a victim of something.
Who knows?
But you never know.
And you just never know.
I mean, it still was a little crazy though.
It is. It is. And so when we talk about, the person committing suicide or whatever, right? We can say, oh, that's just crazy. Like, let's stop using those words. It's not crazy. Someone's hurting, and we have to make sure, as a community, as a village, because we talked about that being an action word. That's true. That we need to sit there and say, "Are you okay?" And I think what I love about this core group here is that we have our little bonding, where even if one is going through that, we can check on one another. I'm being sentimental here.
I'm listening.
So find someone that you really click with and that you can help and just and bond with.
Absolutely.
And if you say something, do something. Like,
that's the same with crimes.
Right.
See something, say something.
Yeah, because you never know. Like, a smile can brighten up somebody's day. Like, I know me personally. Like, if I see someone that just walk past me and they just seem like they just having the most terrible day, I try to like brighten their day by starting a conversation like, are you okay? What's going on? And most of the time, like probably like 80% of the time, that person will open up to me and like start sharing like what's going on with them or give me their whole life story. And other times they'll be like, well, I appreciate you like asking me. I'm okay. That was nice of you. But yeah, sometimes that's what people need. Because I know I have my moments too where I just completely shut down and just isolate myself and don't want to be bothered.
This is my moment. So I have my shout out to my bestie.
Shout out to Angie,
both of them
bestie,
because
her besties.
they always be like, "Hey Angie," and even though it's not necessarily like, "Are you okay?" I know that I'm going across their mind.
Because I had posted something not too long ago because I feel this way all the time. Like, who looks out for the strong person?
Yes.
Because I'm like, I'm the strong person in my family. Yes. But it's like when I had my moments, like, who reach out to me and be like, are you okay? Are you doing good? Like, nobody. And that's the person that you have to really, like, look out for because they be the ones that will crumble, like, quickly and be like, I'm done with this.
Absolutely. So. Because, it really stress or it can be stress. It can even be that, like for me, well, it's still the word stress, but I know for me, sometimes when I do a lot and I have a lot on my plate, I can sit there and be like, you know, and so Mondays, I don't know if I said this, but Mondays I take a day and do nothing, and I don't care who has a problem with it.
Exactly.
They're like, you need to be on the door. No.
Friday's on my day now.
If I can be on the door every day, but if my mind is not there, my body, my spirit is not there, you always have to have a day to refill.
So Ms. Val says she now asks folks, how are you doing mentally?
Yeah, yes. I think that's so important because she
asked people, how are you doing mentally?
Right.
Yes. And also, is
different.
Before we switch topics, they're also doing something tomorrow.
He got his own show going
7 a.m. They have.
That's why I love him. But my gosh, he make me want to.
Why can't I have my notes?
I want to know why you don't
have her notes.
I want to know why you don't tell your audience to follow the
listen.
The RadioOnFire.
What's going on tomorrow?
So before I was really interrupted for having my notes
prepared.
Guys,
this is like brother sister fights going on,
and I'm the one like.
Okay, so
she's the cordial
7 a.m. tomorrow.
You said what? They having something at Carver?
People are going to be welcoming the you know what I mean, trying to be there for the children.
At Carver. So you just been talking like we supposed to know.
I'm just saying, I mean, I have notes. You know what I mean?
So you said Carver, say it one more time.
At 7 a.m. tomorrow with Miss Val is going to be there, and I think some assistant from Dr. K.
Okay.
Like so, yeah.
So 7 a.m. if you are available, come
just
on
sharing
through.
Information.
Come on through Carver High School, and you'll be able to greet and just be there. As like I said, the village. I love that. I think it was last week or the week before, but I love that Brother Nance said that village is an action word.
It is.
And so we can say restore the village and let's be a village and it takes a village, but our actions should speak.
Right. Absolutely.
And do what you can. I mean,
do what you can.
There's some people not doing absolutely nothing.
Exactly, and got everything to say.
Yeah, or just trying to get with someone it is, and
that's a whole.
I saw something. So you know how.
I'm sorry.
So you know how you see the kids.
It's bad for me.
You know you see the kids like raising money for like baseball teams or stuff or whatever.
Right. Let's talk about that.
So you know how you've seen like.
Let's talk about that.
So it was just sad because I was like, damn, I seen these black kids right on Northern Parkway and
if my daughter heard you say
Wabash,
kids
or children, whatever.
She
it
was
doesn't
like,
matter.
they're not animals.
Okay, so listen. Irregardless, let me finish my story.
Okay.
So we were on Wabash and Northern Park.
Okay.
This is a very busy intersection. And it just was astonishing to me to be like, black folks, but maybe one or two gave those little girls something for their dance team. You know what I mean? So I was on the phone with somebody and I was like, it's not that hard. Right. You know what I mean? Like, but if those are some little white kids or some firefighters, the black people would have been in their pocket, like they feel obligated to do that. Why don't you feel obligated just instinctively to do that for some little black kids, that's children that are out there saying, hey, I'm just trying to get some. And I said, you know what, I just bought something. I got $1. You know, what's this for? She said, this is for our dance team. You know what I mean? No, not our dance team, their marching band. You know what I mean?
But how do you expect grown people to support the little black children when they can't even support each other?
I was gonna say, I wrote this down.
No, that's the problem. That's the problem.
I mean, it's because a big problem.
No. Listen to what I'm saying.
Learned behaviors.
You can. It is a learned behavior, but it's a behavior that can really be changed. It's not that hard.
It can,
you know
but it's not gonna be changed.
You gotta look at the things that we allocate our money to.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
but it goes back to learned behavior.
Exactly.
You can't just ride past and say, "Oh, now I learned it." No,
exactly.
they're not gonna. They don't know to do that. And listen, looking out for one another. You made a great.
I guess
point.
I just come from the era when my mother, when I was younger, I saw her car break down. You know what I mean? People actually pulled over and asked, did she need some help when I was a kid? You know what I mean? Like,
you can't even get that. Like today, for instance, I'm taking my dad for his surgery, his doctor's appointment. We're in the wheelchair, and I've been seeing it a lot. Do you think that one person gets up and be like, oh, let me get that door for you? They see me struggling. They see me just trying to get through. No one, it's like no one don't care no more. They don't. It's just about self, and that's it.
Everybody's in their phone. You know what I mean? Like, but seriously though, like, the only reason why people stopped for me this week when I had an accident.
You had an accident?
Yeah, like, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I didn't know about it. You didn't tell us.
I just put it like this.
You gotta tell us.
No, I'm not going to talk about it on the air. I'm not talking about it on the air. I'm not going to talk about it on the air.
You don't want to say you had it.
I was about to reference my point.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was about to reference my point about people stopping. And the reason why people stop for me, because I have an African magnet on the back of my car. And the two sisters that stopped, they had it on their car.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So it can be done. It's not hard.
No, we're not saying. You know what I mean? I'm just saying it be done.
I understand, but
like Angie said, it's learned behavior.
Right, but
and that takes a long time to undo that learned behavior.
But we have to.
Well, let's do some workshops or some sessions.
It's something I always. You know what? It's something that I always wanted to do. Like when I was doing music with my bros back in the day, I said, you know what? I would love to just knock on everybody's door and say, yo, can I get $1? Yo, I'm trying to get $1. I'm trying to really build up this house.
Yeah, tell me how that work out.
But what I'm saying is, how can you say something wouldn't work if we don't?
No, we're not saying it's not going to work.
I need you to rewind this because no one said that.
So you know what learned behavior is, correct?
I do, but
so you know that it takes a lot of reconditioning.
Yes.
To undo that learned behavior. Some folks are
stuck in the plantation consciousness.
Well,
that's true.
You answered it.
Right.
We never said it can't be.
I'm not saying y'all did. I'm not saying y'all did.
Now I'm interested in us doing some kind of session, maybe for just the for the adults, because that way the youth can follow.
Because it starts with them first.
We're leaving the adults out. Like you gotta think about it. You gotta think about it.
We do things for the youth.
You gotta think about. You gotta think about this, right? Like all the children that are in high school right now, their parents are between the ages of 32 and maybe 40 something. You know what I mean? So think about what you see people doing. What do people do in that age besides work?
Partying and living, because they ain't get to live when. Exactly. I mean, because I'm one of them parents.
So, but the difference is you are on top of your children's academics.
I am,
and I'm not saying others are not. You know what I mean? Because like I said before,
could be her village.
There is no.
It still should be passed down some kind of way.
There are no parents in the world that be like, yo, I want my child not to do good. You know what I mean? Like I don't agree with that mentality that people say like, oh,
but it's what they.
But it is some parents that do give up on their kids because they really, like you said, want to live their life independent. That's why I said like we're gonna do a symposium or something where we get together. Then it needs to be really centered around getting the people in that age bracket. You know what I mean? I don't want to keep talking to all the old people, and I don't want to keep talking to kids. You
cannot just talk to our youth. We do a lot for the youth, but we're like you said, we're missing. I don't want to even say parenting. We're missing even being empowering one another.
I say level up our parenting. and let's level up our household. Like we level up our bank accounts and all that. But Angie, just to transition. Sorry, Tasha, I didn't mean to cut you off. But just to transition. Just to transition. So we speaking of things that we're doing for the youth. Let's transition into the rec centers. You know what I mean? Which I think is a great idea, right? But it's only a concern is that they said it's more funding to hire more people, right? So my thing is hiring more people. I think you should hire more programs and infuse it with hiring people, because if you hire people that doing programs, then we become part of the staff. You know what I mean? Just organically, because we're there. You know what I mean? Like you hire maybe one of a manager, and you hire youth that come there for the job. Like that's how you keep.
So May Young, I hope you're listening.
But you see how
we appreciate all the recs being open.
It's all about your thinking.
We need
some
substance.
That's what I'm saying.
Could be.
But I'm just saying how I would break it down. Like if I was in charge, I would be like, you know what? This is a way to keep the youth workforce development going. Like, you know what? Let's hire a couple of the teenagers that want to come in. We'll hire one adult, and then we'll use the rest of the money for programming. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
In the rec. You know what I'm saying? Because it's cool to play basketball and all that. But one thing I've learned working in the high school this year is like, unless we change the kids' language when they're in social settings,
that's true.
They're never going to change. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
absolutely true.
And they'll never be able to focus. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just looking at these kids like, yo, am I in or high school? You know what I mean? Like, but it's.
Am I babysitting or am I?
You know what I mean? But it's like.
I mean, that brings me to me and my 19-year-old that's getting ready to turn 20, we had a conversation the other day.
My baby might be 22.
So my baby been making me so proud. First of all, he did a complete 360 over the year, because when he initially graduated from high school, he was like, I'm not doing college right now. I'm taking a year off. Initially, I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Right? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to let him do him, let him figure it out. He figured it out. Got enrolled in school, got a job at my company, because he was like, I want to be a social worker now. Just went out. He was like, I see how you help people, and that's what I want to do. Like, I want to give back to the community. Went and saved up all his money in the last 6 months. Went and bought his first brand new car last week. Been working on his credit. He told me today his credit score was like 750. Went to go get him a credit card, open up a bank account. Like, it's all because like me not knowing what I've been teaching him all this time, and it's really been embedded in his brain. Okay, this is more important than running the streets and doing XYZ and doing this. And I let him figure out what he wanted to do career-wise moving forward, because at the end of the day, like, I can say all day long, go to college, but that's not his ultimate goal. I would have been even prouder if he was like, oh, I'm going to go to this trade school and do this, or I'm going to do that.
And just for clarification, Ms. Val, I'm with you. I do have empathy for our community. So when I speak or go on those rampages, it's because I'm frustrated. You know what I mean? Because I know whose responsibility it is. You know what I mean? And it's the age group. It's the age group that I'm speaking on. You know what I mean? Myself included. You know what I mean? So it's like,
no, I totally agree.
So I do have empathy. That's why. You know what I mean?
Like, shoot. Like, I'm not even in my 40s, and I got almost 20-year-olds.
But thank you. Thank you for the rec centers being open. I'm just saying, let's be strategic with the money. Let's be strategic with the money. Like, you know what I mean? I've been submitting programs to parks and people.
And I was going to say, I know somebody that's been
for the last 2 years, and you don't get nothing back. You don't hear nothing back. But no, I don't want to be on the negative. I'm just saying we speak because it's positive.
I'm happy
I appreciate
that all of them there.
Yeah, because we need them.
And listen, when we talk about, and I have to be very just cordial about this, because I'm going into this realm.
Yes, you are.
Meaning, this was a great thing that the mayor's office has opened up these rec centers. Amazing. I love it. I appreciate it. The suggestions that are coming out at the table and maybe elsewhere throughout the city is what's needed. When we talk about the village, because I'm sure as a team, they may not have thought about the things you thought of, but that don't mean that what they did was wrong.
You know what?
So we just got to make sure we're not so hard on one another and that goes back to looking out for one another.
Exactly. And you know what I'm learning through my training with Johns Hopkins is like, you have people that are in positions that some people are not good leaders. You know what I mean? Like, some people are good business people. Some people are good analytic people. Some people are good.
But it's all about your team.
It's all about, that's what I'm saying. You got to have your team.
I was about to say, it doesn't doesn't matter.
Yeah, that part doesn't matter.
Like with me even running, oh, you don't have this background, you don't do that. Listen, it's all about your team.
Exactly.
Because
your team's supposed to make up all of that components.
Don't believe
together.
the hype.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right.
And also you have to make sure that person understands, like they're from the city. They're aware of what's going on.
Right.
And you know, he's aware of it. And other people that are doing things, they're all aware of it because they live it.
That's what I'm saying. No, it's all positive.
Yes.
I'm just saying, you know. Go ahead.
I wanted to say something before I forget. When we talk about conditioning ourselves to the violence and just being numb to what's going on, I pulled up what happened last night, and it really bothered me. And I think you even said
what happened last night.
We're getting ready to say it.
Okay.
But someone actually sent me a text as well, asking for the number. So hopefully,
I
text them back.
436-1277.
I text them back. So hopefully they get through. But in the meantime, being numb to it, conditioned to our struggle and the things that are going on. Last night, and this was in my district, unfortunately, one of the shootings. I want to read that, just part of it. So last night there was a shooting in the Chinquapin Parkway area near Ramblewood. A person was shot in their car. I heard it. It was loud. Helicopters, ambulance. I heard everything. Got the citizen app. All this is trauma if you're dealing with something. So I would suggest if you gotta take an app off your phone. Like there are certain things I don't do. I don't watch TV. I don't watch the news.
The news is awful.
Yes. So whatever works for you, but I don't want a notification. But of course, even when I don't have it or when I came off, it was still someone that made people, because it was various that may just still kept me abrupt. And that's what we're dealing with. People are numb to it. There's no way that we should be okay sharing a picture of someone hanging and be okay with
that's not okay.
So I'm sorry. So here we go. A person was shot in their car, but in the article, I encourage you all to look at it. So here's a person who was shot in a vehicle with someone else, and I don't know why they call it here.
Okay, call 404-436.
Maybe they're trying to get
1277.
Okay. Look, I'm like, they're calling. So basically, the person was shot in a vehicle along with another person, right? And the witness, and I'm reading off of here now. A witness said she tried to get help, but passersby didn't want to get involved. This is what she said in the article. She was distraught. She's saying, I was yelling and I caught up with a nurse from Nigeria who was on her way to work who didn't want to get involved. So she had someone say, I don't want to get involved.
Damn.
This is still in the article.
People scared.
And then I'm yelling, asking anyone, please call 911 because this person's shot too. Wow. And I ran into another lady getting into her car. I said, call 911. This is paraphrasing from the Fox 45 article. She said, oh, I only have 5% power on my phone. Wow. People don't want to get involved. That right there did something to me.
Yeah, that's real.
Because that's real.
That's real.
It's definitely real.
And
reality.
And it goes back to being conditioned.
I'm sorry. I had to say it because that is what a lot of people is either don't want to get involved, don't want to be seen in that because we don't know about retaliation or what's going to happen to them, or just don't want to do it, you know?
Right.
So how do y'all feel about that? I mean, it kind of goes back to what you said. The fact is all was in the article. I read it like, wow.
People are afraid. Like, nobody wants to get involved with. They know they can't be protected by the police. Nobody trusts the police.
Yeah, it's
no
all
one
about
wants
South.
to. Like, I don't think it's even that. It's fear. People are afraid. I
don't know. It could be fear and it could be just the mentality, because I know me growing up minding your own business, staying in your own lane type thing. Because I know where I grew up at, like, a gunshot was nothing. Like, I heard it every day. Mm-hmm. Like, seeing somebody die on the corners, I saw that too much. So it's like, okay, you seen one body, you seen them all. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, like, you become numb to it. basically.
Yeah, but that ain't mean it's right though.
No, I didn't say it was right.
I didn't say you did.
We're going back to what she said though.
Exactly. It's you being conditioned to your environment. You just thinking that's the
But
norm.
are people really conditioned? Because just like Angie said, people are mourning and grieving in their own home. In their own home. So if you're fearful, that means you're affected or impacted by the enemy. So you're not conditioned. You're actually impacted and influenced by it.
But why you wouldn't say that they're conditioned? Because this is all they know. Like some people don't even come out of their community.
Some are just riding past and they still saw it, but they're just not.
When I think conditioning, I think you accept it.
Yes, they have.
I don't think they accepted it. They haven't accepted it. I don't think they've accepted it.
Some people think that this is the way of life.
Nah, I don't believe that.
Now, I do believe that some do feel that way.
So I'm not saying they don't.
I'm not saying they don't. I'm not saying with them. We don't know how.
I'm speaking of that particular article. Just how she said it. The lady said I only got 5%. That ain't nobody that's someone that's afraid.
That's somebody that don't care.
No, I don't agree with that.
Oh gosh,
I definitely don't agree with that because you can't say they don't care.
We don't know what they were thinking. But the fact of the matter is, several people rode past, 2 people shot.
You can't say that the person doesn't care if they're afraid. You know what I mean?
That's if they are, because you don't know if they are afraid.
I think they were afraid.
Oh gosh.
I think they were afraid. Because she said she didn't even roll out the window.
Dr. Nance.
I'm trying to tell you. I do this. This is what I do. This is what I do.
No,
all right, doctor.
I'm just saying. I mean,
I just thought that was really. Oh, he ain't getting ready to speak. Okay. Listen.
Okay.
You got down.
You thought it was really what?
Huh?
You thought it was really what?
I thought it was really what?
You said I thought it was really, and then you stopped.
Oh no, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
You threw me off when
So
you was
just talk.
when you was
You
getting
just talk.
because you threw me off when you was getting ready to do your.
All right, so
Sorry.
it's rare that I agree with Brother Nance.
Exactly. Thank you.
Oh Lord, he had to put that out there too.
I have to agree with Brother Nance today.
Thank you, Diamond K.
He was on time.
Refilled the candy jar.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean he's eating all the candy out, but
That's that
still.
cuffing season.
Hey, it's
So I mean,
levels to this.
so you don't understand fear?
No, I didn't say that.
I said it could be a combination.
You don't understand people's reaction to fear?
I think the guys are misunderstanding us,
Right.
females. I never said.
Why have to be a sex? The
It is.
male
It
thing?
is. That
That's
said
it.
seems
Yeah,
like
it
what you
does.
said.
Right? We never said, and I don't even get that from what Tasha said. We're saying we don't know what happened, but there are cases where someone's either conditioned, scared. We named a few things.
It's a combination.
We never said that they
It was
weren't
just
alive.
fear.
I'm
Period.
saying it's like this. People mind their own business.
Like I said.
For a reason.
Listen to that.
And
God.
so there's been plenty of time, and I don't know if Brother Nance had this situation, but he probably has.
Yes,
Where it's
God, she don't even know.
say you somewhere, right? You just walking down the street in a neighborhood, wherever you at, and you see a guy roughing up a girl, right?
And I've experienced it.
You don't know the guy. Sometimes I figured that this would have happened to you too. You don't know the guy. You don't know the girl. You see their situation happen. You don't know the backstory. You don't know nothing. You just see a guy seeming like he's roughing up a girl.
That's someone that could be scared.
Now, in your mind, this can even happen for your son. In his mind, you know, okay, man, not supposed to put his hand on a woman, whatever. So, but survival kicks in. I don't know this guy. I don't know this girl.
I mean, yeah.
Do I intercede in this?
You don't know if he has a weapon. You don't know what's going on. Nothing.
You thinking, I want my son to come home. Right? You don't want him to die to be the good Samaritan that's gone. Right? So in his mind, I'm going to more than likely say, especially if he don't know any of the people involved, he's going to keep walking. Okay? He's going to not get involved. And in the society we live in, I recommend that you gotta weigh this whole thing out. You know what I mean? It could go either way.
Well, in that case, that's fear, but that's not always
But
the
listen,
case.
I'm saying, so I'm just giving you the thought process. This is the thought process.
Okay.
Now, in another scenario,
I was talking about
the scenario that Angie referenced from last night, right? So
Yes.
you have two injured people and people walking by. They still have the mindset. So now they're doing their own processing.
Yes, they are.
Situation.
Yeah.
They're doing the processing.
Yeah.
Because retaliation is a real thing.
yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
The people still watching. Angie referenced earlier going to different homegoing services, but you don't understand retaliation is a real thing. Retaliation can happen at a homegoing service, so you got to be
So you have a group of people that are conditioned
It's not even conditioned.
No.
It's reacting to reality.
I'm talking about vigils. So you have people that just go into the vigil. Their mindset is just like it is what it is. I go to them too often to know that they just it is what it is kind of thing. Right. But I also have the ones that are afraid of even going, being involved. True. So that's what we say.
But again, it's saying it is what it is. You're still dealing with the self-pain because you may be self-medicating, you may be drinking,
we're saying it's a accumulation of a lot of things, not just right here.
I don't want y'all, and that's the only reason why I said anything. I don't want y'all to fault the person reacting to reality more than we fault the situation that caused the reaction.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
No, when she mentioned about the conditioning and people not wanting to be involved for whatever reasons, that's what made me read this article because that's what I felt. And what I got out of it is fear, retaliation, not wanting to be involved because once you do a report, you put your name and information.
Facts.
I said all of
whether
that.
they say it's anonymous or not,
that's what I'm saying, why people are not coming forward.
Absolutely.
Right.
So this is back to fixing Baltimore's many issues.
Right.
I like that topic too. That's what we're saying. And in fact,
I'm a writer.
everybody
Good job, Diamond K. Good job, Diamond K.
has the right things to say.
Emmy Award winning producer Diamond K. You know what I mean?
So let me say, let me also say, because now we talked about like even being on a witness stand. I mean, I was on a witness stand. I spoke, in regards to
traffic court.
In regards to my husband's death. I had to state my name and my address in front of the man that harmed my husband.
Right.
This is true, and this is facts, and this is something that people don't want to go to court because they're put. And listen, now we got Maryland court search. Well, then it was about 16 years ago now, 15 years. They didn't have all that. Now you got everybody's business on there. Right. So back to it's fear. It's not wanting to be involved.
I realize
not wanting to be attached to that case.
Right.
Whatever.
But here's the thing about that, and I didn't even think about those details. Those details that you're a very strong person. Now,
and I gotta show you a picture too.
Of me? Of you?
I'll tell you later.
Of us together?
No, it was.
I didn't know it was a camera there at that time.
It was. No. I'm gonna tell you later though.
Listen. I want you to use my. I want you to use my.
I want you to.
But like how you just said, how you just said that you went on the stand, right? You had a personal connection with that case. You wasn't going to do no other thing. Let's say that was just some random person. Let's say it was some random person.
I know.
You wouldn't have did those same things. You wouldn't have took those same chances because you didn't have that kind of connection.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But everything we talked about tonight is connected because what Brother Nance was saying, and I'm trying to come back. Now I'm going to disagree. Now I'm going to disagree with him. Okay. I'm going back to the kids.
Okay.
I'm going back to the kids on the corner.
This is a good time,
right?
I love the kids.
It's all connected. Yeah. So people are. You said why don't people give? Sometimes it's not that hard, but that goes back to what y'all saying with the conditioning. Okay, what is this person using my money for? I've been burned too many times.
Right.
But if the presentation
might not be good.
No, Diamond
I don't
K.
have that much money, and I don't want. And I got a little bit of money.
No, Diamond K. No. I gotta disagree with you on this.
Hold on. Let me get it out.
All right, go ahead. Then I gotta share my piece.
Or what about the person who and you can't give to these strangers, but you ain't taking care of your kids.
Right.
That don't balance out.
Okay, so okay. Okay. So ho. So these particular people were well dressed. You know what I mean? There was an adult out there. Like
we got politicians well dressed.
No, listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying, the kid.
Trump's wearing a suit.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm talking about. You knew that they were raising funds for their band. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
but most
hold up.
Go ahead.
Now my rent's late, my car payment late.
Okay, but you also
I'm late for work.
I got kids at home.
Okay. Ho. But you also bought some bud. You also bought something to drink. You also did.
People personal priorities that given to a kid on the street
but
that
then
they don't know
complain. But then go complain.
Yeah, I mean, again, go back to conditioning.
One, you don't even know if it's legit.
Right.
Exactly. Like,
I don't have
sex trafficking.
Well, you know what?
I don't have.
If that's the case, then y'all are correct. People are conditioned. I'm not conditioned. You know what I mean? Because I give when I don't even have.
You
know what I mean? Straight up.
Man's trying to raise money. Find where Brother Nance is. He will give
Please.
money.
Anybody that's want to raise legit money, come holler at Brother
Nah,
Nance.
but legit. You said
Legit.
Now
I knew it was legit.
It's legit.
I knew it was legit because
But you knew it was
even if it
legit.
wasn't,
You knew it.
but guess what though? Even if it wasn't legit, guess what? I did my civic duty. You know what I'm saying?
But that's not everybody thinking.
But I'm just saying for me.
So Brother Nance.
I guess the point I'm saying is, if we're complaining,
That's the issue
if
that
the
people
black
have with the
community is
Squeegee Boys.
complaining,
I was about to get there.
That's the issue people have with the Squeegee Boys.
They don't
because
want to
it's-
stop.
It's presentation. It's
Exactly.
it's the aggressiveness and the delivery.
Exactly.
And I've seen
and what do
them
we think?
aggressive. You know, I've
What do we
seen
think they're
videos
using the
about
money for? A lot of times, if they come into the car smelling of weed,
some of them
Exactly.
are,
think that,
but
that
some
this
of
is
them
not
are
something
buying
that
their
they
clothing.
do.
Some of them are eating.
One, I'm just happy they're out here stealing or robbing people.
That too.
That's one thing. But in the same token, I'm by myself. I'm not being ready to roll my window down
Right.
with no teenage
I'm saying these
boys.
were little girls.
But that's just
I'm
me,
talking about
and
the
that goes
situation. I'm
back
talking
to
about
the
little
situation.
girls.
We
Okay.
know, but this is
We
not.
can-
We know how
So-
you think, but this is not how everybody
So,
else is thinking
let's
when
go-
they
let's
drove
go
past
back
these
to
little
the-
girls.
let's go back to the
Not
wife.
everybody have a good heart.
Let's
like
go back
that.
to the wife that was stabbed, even though we know that it turned to something else. But
That's still
the story
conditioning
the
people's
story
minds.
was the panhandling. Let's go with what the original
everybody
story
knew that was
was.
a lie.
She stopped
Surrounded fishing.
and then
Out the
we
rip.
know that, but they used that story. Why? Because that can
They
happen.
thought that was gonna be believed. That's the
But-
story that's gonna
But
be
it can
sold.
happen.
Now-
and it has happened.
Now,
People outside of this city initially believe that story, no problem.
Outside
People
of
that
the
live
city.
in the city was
Was
like,
like,
that sounds
Exactly.
kind of fishy.
So the
Absolutely.
conditioned people you talking about was like, no way.
Right.
You see what I'm
So
saying?
Because they know when something is fishy.
I mean,
Yes.
I mean, come on.
But
I
they
mean,
also, the person who actually did
whole
it, they
Baltimore
knew that
fishy.
story could sell. Just like we have opportunities right now going off of our
Absolutely.
struggle. So wait a minute, let's even go back to.
I agree.
Let's go back to the homicides.
Yes.
we can get away with someone, whoever this person. We might have somebody. We might have a serial killer out here. We just never know.
We don't know.
But what I'm saying is, anybody that wanted to do that, it's easy because we have a violence problem.
yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
You said a cop killed himself. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I mean things
That's
happen.
the
I don't know the
story that
story.
was-
I don't know the story, but at the end of the day, we
Well,
talk about stress,
we talk
mental
about
health,
everything.
all of
We
that. You
talk
know what I mean?
about
All
what's-
of that.
We talk about what's real, but we also know that in reality, if it was another story that came out, we would not take anything of it because it happens.
Right.
Yeah, I
So
mean-
let me talk about the Squeegee Boys real quick
Oh, because I love the Squeegee
because
Boys.
I got in trouble. But not really. I said
I actually
I was
love the
like
Squeegee
I told the
Boys.
person I said what I said. But I'm trying to say that was kind of comforting.
Okay, Angie, okay.
So Squeegee boys,
Yeah.
I have a problem with the excessiveness. Bringing a SWAT team and all this other stuff if necessary. I get the if necessary, but the fact of the matter is it's still is a if necessary situation. With all the crimes that's going on, I'm not saying they're not part of it. I don't know, but that should not be the whole thing. We have 242 homicides going on right now. And right now you're getting ready to vamp up security, police, whatever for Squeegee
It's
Boys.
about
Yes.
the property
No, and
and
let's
the
not.
and the image.
and the people.
You remember, Brother Nance, you remember growing up.
Yes.
Your parents, your aunt, your grandmother, whoever probably told you, don't be on the corner hanging with them.
Yeah.
Like whenever it's a group of us young black men that's automatically viewed as a
deemed to be
threat.
our problem.
That's
Yeah.
automatically viewed as something can go on. Even if we
Right.
say
I
we
agree.
playing football, or we riding our bikes, or we talking about hip hop, or
I
we
agree.
That's
cleaning
sad.
windows, or we selling waters. It don't matter what you're doing.
That's sad.
But it
It
wasn't as
automatically
noticeable.
and so the Squeegee Boys are just the sheer number. If it was just one or two people, it wouldn't be no problem.
Now, I
Five,
will-
6, and
Start
10
out
people.
I would say that. I would
males,
say
people gonna
that goes
target
back to they are a reflection of our environment. The lack of the home thing.
So I have a problem with the whole.
Yep.
This is my problem. The SWAT part that lost
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
That's a bit much.
They are children. For one, two, there are reasons why some are on there, and again,
Exactly.
we're talking about the opportunists that are just in it because of what's going on.
Right.
But third, or whatever number I'm on, let's just talk about last year when Mayor Pugh, former mayor now, but Mayor Pugh had $2 million that she had invested in for squeegee boys. And it was going to help with employment and resources. I would just like to know, where is that? Because there are things that they need. And I mean, we have a homeless problem, so there are a lot of youth that are homeless. There are so many issues.
Well, I thought the rec centers were supposed to solve all this. So we saw. I thought the rec center was supposed to solve everything. Really? The kids just need something to do.
I would just like to know.
No, they need more than just
article,
something to do.
Yeah, the article said $2 million, and it was going to be this whole. She had a whole video. I mean, I remember it. I don't know if you guys remember.
Oh, I definitely.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Some things we try to brush underneath, but $2 million is for some people.
And
maybe somebody, it's probably in somebody's pocket. There's not going to be no auditing. It's in somebody's pocket.
Right. And me personally know it's not enough resources for youth homelessness in Baltimore. Yeah. It's not.
So
that's a real thing.
Yeah.
That's a super real thing.
That there was a grant or some money raised for that as well just recently. I would love to see how that is implemented. But I do want to say, shout out that there is some money there.
Again,
and that could have been, I don't know if it was like 3 point something million. I would have to look at it, and I don't want to quote any numbers, but $3 million, right? And we need to figure out how they were going to do it. I didn't read into the whole thing. I do want to say that I do know that some are trying, and that part I will always appreciate. Yes. But
they got a tough job. They got a tough job.
It is a very tough job.
They have a tough job trying to clean up the Baltimore government. People trying to clean up the police. That's a hard job. You're trying to clean up education.
It's hard.
I mean, it's a lot.
It's hard because you got bad apples in the midst of everything. Politics, police.
And no one has. Everybody's self-interest is not met.
Your community associations, your community organizations, everybody that talk about peace, love, and happiness. There's always someone that's going in. Okay, you know what? That's it.
In the chat room, somebody said that people in Baltimore are taught to mind their own business.
Yeah, that's
we are.
Back to what I said.
Yes, we are.
That's what I was growing up.
You remember they say, "What goes in the house stays in the house."
Yeah, snitches get
stitches.
But everything we taught doesn't mean that we're supposed to do it.
That's what I'm saying.
That mean it's right. Yeah.
Once you know better as an adult and you are awakening and you're a human, that's supposed to be your human side. You know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying.
We're still with the human side.
In the perfect world, not the right way.
Everybody's different.
In the perfect world, that's where we would be.
I mean, I live in the world as it is. In the world.
Talk about the county.
That's living in the world as it is.
Real quick, we know yesterday there was a van filled with gallons of gas or whatever, right? We also know that
1 million gallons of gas.
We also know.
And they found somebody else getting some gas.
And we also know that it happened in the county. And somebody passed gas.
And white marsh.
And we know it happened in the county. And I love my city. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I kind of was almost right there with someone. Don't focus so much on just city is all rambling. The county has their issues as well.
It is.
And so it happened as there as well. The bigger question should be why. I mean, what's going on? What's really going on? Anyway, we got to ramp it up because this is a really good hot topic.
It is.
I don't have it.
You got to do a part 2.
We always got to do a part 2.
Maybe if we do a part 2 and bring in other additional people.
Thank you, Diamond K, for understanding my.
No, he understands.
I'm saying when you right, you right. When you wrong, you wrong.
Facts.
You can right, wrong.
Right and wrong, and
I want to say 2 things that were on here. I don't know if you said it or not.
Okay.
Where were you? You was not on the RTV. I mean, the RadioOnFire.
Okay, come
so, Miss Bazemore said we need more. I just want to at least acknowledge that the people are engaging.
Absolutely.
Miss Bazemore said we need more people that care is needed here in Baltimore City. Absolutely. Exactly. She also said, "Get it together, you 3." We are so bad. We're so bad. And then Mother Harris says that African Americans, and she made it all caps. That's Mother Harris. She said, "Do not have a cultural love for one another."
Facts.
That is fact.
No, that's
she said, "Why do we not have love?"
That's what I'm saying. That's the whole.
You can have love, but you also have to use your brain. You
gotta have love and understanding.
Nobody loves to get shot.
And
right. Facts.
Yeah, but you still you know when you know when and when not engaged. Like I done been in
situations. When I was on that witness stand,
tell you a whole story
said
right
it was
now.
A connection, and that is very true. It didn't matter what was going to happen.
Right, exactly.
And I say that to say not so much of strangers, but I'm saying in general, if you know that you have a loved one that is doing something wrong, we still got to speak up for that as well.
Put it like this: if I know somebody shot my homeboy, and he's my close friend, and I saw it, and I know the person, that person's going to jail. Yeah. Period.
I'm letting you know that's how I feel.
Yeah. And then on that note,
I was going to say yes. We have to do a part 2. I don't know what's going to happen next week, but as you see, we're going to always have some great topics. We had a good time.
Absent next week, you know what I mean? It's like,
Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in each and every Tuesday. I'm not going to end it, but I just want to just let everyone know thank you for always engaging and tuning in, sharing, and all that good stuff. We have a lot of people that want to come on the show, and that's a great problem. Awesome. That's good. So I'm gonna send it over this way.
So Tasha.
Anyway, hurry up.
You know what? You know what? We don't have good days. We create them. You know what I mean? Create the life you want. Create the energy you want, so you can spread your love to the world. Peace and health.
And wait a minute, don't go out yet. My next fundraiser is Thursday, September 19th, and I just wanted you all
Taco
to know that
Tuesday
at Ford Hill. Thank you all. And we have an upcoming National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims.
Oh, yes.
Shout out to that.
Absolutely.
Restoring the Village will be hosting
What date is that on?
Thank you all. September 25th. Restoring the
September
Village.
25th.
Thank you.
She will be absent that day.
Bye-bye.